wishest to dismantle the world's will, just as I do. Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world, should it meet such a fate? 'Twould become a fleeting, fragile, vacuous thing, bereft of the cycle. Naught would be born into it save chaos, great and terrible. Surviving in such a world would be no simple matter. Yet, if thy will is set upon the whole truth, thou must demonstrate its strength. Prove through thine actions that thou canst cast off this wheel. Think well, Arisen, but rest not. I will know thine answer through the strength of thine. Thou shalt cut a swathe through the false benevolence enshrouding this world. Arisen, pitiable soul tossed by the winds of fate. Wilt thou slay me, or be slain? I know not how this story endeth. The outcome was determined in a time before reckoning. And yet, Arisen, born of a hapless faith though it may be, perchance 'tis thy will, and thine alone, that couldst contest the great will of this world. Thou art too late. The hour is upon us. We must decide a victor, and in so doing, form a link in the chain that bindeth this wheel. Tell me, Arisen, what is thy desire? Is it to slay the dragon, thereby delivering the world from darkness? Or dost thou only seek conflict, foe? Dost thou realize even our battle here was thou hast met this world as thy
I'll turn you into a pit, Richard.
that one was rare, but you know this world was even knowing what I speak.
I shall draw its focus. Now, while the heart is burning.
And if thou hast motives, then thou art a fool. Alas, I am slain. But heed this, Arisen. By will alone doth the world form a ring, an unending cycle. All is preordained, even my death at thine hands. Yet perhaps thy will is great enough to put an end to it.
Why do you pursue me, Arisen? You have fulfilled your charge, are you not satisfied? Seek you greater status? Perhaps to rule the world entire? It is power you desire, you need merely spy out the path.
The choice is thine, Arisen. By thy will alone can the course of the winds of fate be altered.
You would still resist your fate. Understand you the folly of such a decision. Even the beating of your reclaimed heart was born of the great will of this world. Yet you would abandon it. Everything in this world, all that you have come to know as reality, is the creation of the great will. Should that will be lost, no mortal being could survive. However, if regret yet assails your spirit, then perhaps you should reaffirm your choice. Witness with your own eyes, or through the eyes of another, the fate of this world.
It is thy will to defend the world, then thou needst simply bring me low. Yet what reason hast thou to attempt such a feat? I need merely look into thine eyes to know the answer to that. Thou wishest to dismantle the world's will just as I do. Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world should it meet such a fate? Could become a fleeting, fragile lives of those beloved to thee would be as candles in a raging storm. Dost thou truly desire such a fluctuant world? Is that not arrogance? Thou wouldst change the world according to thy will alone. The choice is thine, Arisen. Thy will, thy soul, these are all the means thou hast to carve thy path anew. Thou art too late. The hour is upon us. We must decide a victor, and in so doing, form a link in the chain that bindeth this wheel. Tell me, Arisen, what is thy desire? Is it to slay the dragon, thereby living? In the world of darkness, or dost thou merely seek conflict? Thou art too. Is it to slay the dragon, thereby living in the world of darkness? Or dost thou seek conflict, mighty
Be sure to give the rest of Whitebird.
Dost thou realize thy wonder? Even our battle here
No!
thou hast met with the pity of the fallen gods. This world hast thou not.
Prepare yourself. Love the heart could end the thing.
Strike at the heart while it's exposed.
Then thou art a fool. Now thou wilt witness my true strength.
I shall draw its focus.
Derived Rykon.
No harm shall come. Prison has been torched. Quick, douse the flames.
Time for us to meet our fated foe on the field of battle.
Is this to be our end? Or a new...
Alas, I am slain. By will alone doth the world form a ring, an unending cycle. All is preordained, even my death at thine hands. Yet perhaps thy will is great enough to put an end to it. It is thy will to defend the world, then thou needst simply bring me low. Yet what reason hast thou to attempt such a feat? I need merely look into thine eyes to know the answer to that. Thou wishest to dismantle the world's will just as I do. Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world should it meet such a fate? 'Twould become a fleeting, fragile, vacuous thing, bereft of the cycle. Naught would be born into its same chaos, great and terrible. Surviving in such a world, no simple matter. Even the ground upon which thou steppest with such certainty would be apt to fall away ere long. Wouldst thou seek to sunder the world's will, even so? The lives of those beloved to thee would be as tragic and raging.
Stay away.
Pray. Turn back.
Leave now, while you can.
You have strayed, Arisen. And for what? Lest you forget. You have a world where you belong. There, you are to fell the great evil in your path and rule the people as their sovereign. For that is who you are. And it is my wish that you should live out that life of purpose. The time has come for you to return. Go. My children shall see you there safely.
Let us go home. Together.
To a world under your rightful rule.
To a world all your own.
This is your will? Then behold, a world unmerciful, bereft with benevolent hands and guides. You find it strange. But this is your world. The world to which you longed to return. Alas, if only you had chosen to become sovereign. At the end of your travails, you could have ruled over these lands in perpetual peace. Yet that world of limitless possibilities has ended. You stand now upon its remains. The vestiges of a world that could have been so much more. Innumerable wills have served to deliver this world from extinction time and time again. You alone have refused to carry out that great purpose. What you see before you is the consequence of your apathy. Behold. To an end. As it has failed to be chosen, and as 'twill ne'er be read, this world will soon cease to exist. In the blink of an eye, the sickle of oblivion will reap aught that you have known. I would advise you not to waste these last moments. Explore the remnants of this world while you can. Perhaps, in doing so, you shall come to see the truth, and know the wretchedness of a world unworthy of being chronicled. How shall you fare, I wonder? Will you endure in this world, abandoned and unprotected?
Just yonder looks to be a good spot for harvesting ingredients. No harm in picking a few. Freshly rested as we are, this battle ought to be in our favor.
We must not let down our guard.
What has become of the world? Would that there was someone who could explain this madness.
Come to think of it, did not Seratheia speak of releasing the world from its bonds in the Central Shrine?
If this is indeed the world unbound, then perhaps we ought to seek out the prison. So close a call offers no solace in victory.
What fails to destroy us only enhances our chances against future adversaries.
Rest all my equipment. Follow the shots.
This is no good. Can't let myself get distracted.
You're the Arisen, aye? And here I had taken you for dead. I am to inform you that Lord Phasis requests your presence at the Forbidden Magic Research Lab. As to whether you heed him, I care not.
Surely does a number on my shoulders.
my hair.
Anything feels good for she's been shrouded.
Could have sworn I ought to attend.
Fascinating. Simply fascinating.
It is quiet about.
At last.
Ah, Arisen. You yet live. I suspected as much, given that your pawn still remains. One might hypothesize that your pawn is sustained by your vital essence. Or perhaps something more. In any case, we ought to apprise one another of the situation. Is there aught you would know? Ah, yes. I trust it has not escaped your notice that the end of days is upon us. After you vanished, together with the Red Dragon, the seas rose to swallow the skies. 'Twas perhaps a month from that evil day when a new calamity befell us. A host of dragons descended from the skies and fell upon the land with fang and claw. Luz the Oracle called upon me ere you arrived. As she tells it, Melve and its environs have already fallen prey to the beasts. 'Tis surely only a matter of time before the rest of the kingdom follows suit. I found the poor creature collapsed by the wayside near Batal. Recognizing your pawn, I decided to take the ailing thing into my custody. I thought it possible that the Arisen's pawn might hold the key to making sense of all this madness. Alas, try what I might, your pawn will not wake. Mayhap you will succeed where I could not. The pawn is, after all, yours to command. Indeed, then I shall take my turn. In your absence, I had hoped your pawn might yield me some information. But as you have returned, I would hear the truth from your lips. Tell me, Arisen, what became of you this past month? So, following your plunge into the sea on the dragon's back, some mysterious presence reached out to you. Could that have been the World Forged? Yet why would such a being linger in those fathomless depths? I can only speculate, and speculate I shall. This ought to prove a fruitful avenue of investigation. For that, I thank you. Now, if you can find a way to end this interminable slumber, your pawn is, of course, free to rejoin you.
Oh, Master. How long I've slept. Oh, far too long, it seems. But, worry not. Now that I am awake, I shall follow wherever you lead. Leave the finding of equipment-enhancing material. What has become of the world? Would that there was someone who could explain this madness.
So you're here, are you? Now that I think of it, I do seem to recall Lord Phasus lamenting that he be reduced to aiding you. But it matters not. Both he and I are too rushed off our feet to care for such trivialities. We seek to devise some means of forestalling these dragons' attacks from above, you see. If you've an interest in helping us fight this battle, perhaps you will join us on Volcanic Island. 'Tis all the same, either way. This world needs no Arisen to save it. Such is Lord Phasus' creed and mine. Leave me be. Lord Phasus and I have important work. If you've an interest in helping us fight this battle.
Tis hard to find my footing in this darkness. Person I believe in is myself. Decent sleep.
Still a while to go before my shift's over. Recruits can barely lift their swords. Stomachs growl.
You saw the sky fall, I trust. I doubt you could have missed it. And wherever the sky falls, a dragon soon appears to lay waste to the land. Or so I had assumed, after what befell Melv. Yet aught here appears to be different. Has our ruin been forestalled, or merely postponed? I must examine that creature. It may well be the key to unraveling the origins of this cataclysm.
The path through this rock has been sealed to us. There's naught for it but to search for... Many paths are close to us now, on account of the dragon's descent, no doubt. But we must find a way to reach it.
Confound this obstruction. But I suppose I ought to have expected this. Answers were ne'er so easily won. Monsters! Summoned by that beast, no doubt.
Cut one monster down and two more replace it. We ought to ignore the rabble and focus on our true objective.
I am hard-pressed. I'll turn you into a pincushion.
This one's shaking.
I'll crush you if you keep that up. Not bad, eh? Not bad, eh?
Principles unproven are as dust on the wind. seems this is the only way forward. Up we go.
There are too many of them. Better we cut down only those we must to proceed.
This cannot continue.
Why do you falter? Come this way. A fine welcome indeed. I can only hope that the worst is now behind us. Naught can be achieved without sacrifice.
Seems this old man's time.
Alas, a theory unproven is of little practical use.
Very well. I shall return.
Beast-fell powers are twice as terrible in the flesh.
Peculiar sensation filled me during my time with Lord Phaser.
Few know the real nature of the dragon.
Cut one monster down and 2 more replaces. We ought to ignore the rabble and focus on our true objective.
I really like our prospects.
On my way!
Oh, we fixed the fiend, fell back. Perhaps a few more for good measure.
Only truly impartial observers can perceive it.
One monster down and 2 more replace it. We ought to ignore the rabble and focus on our true objective.
I am hard pressed.
There it is! The dragon at the heart of all this destruction.
I'll turn you into a pincushion.
Perhaps destroying yon urn will have some effect. Never did I imagine such a dragon could exist. It is a glad thing we felled it, whatever it was.
Some days past, we used the information we'd gleaned from that bandit we captured. Breft, I believe his name was, to storm the Coral Snake's new hideout. Yet, it would seem we were too late. Most of the snakes had scarpered, and only 2 cadavers remained. Those of the group's leader and of Hugo, who'd managed to escape his cell only a few days prior. They appeared to have exchanged mortal blows. Still, all's not lost. Without a leader to organize them, the remaining coral snakes pose a much smaller threat. We shall have peace, if only for a moment.
This development differs greatly from any in my recollection.
Well, well. Color me surprised.
Time to be heading home.
Few are privy to the goings-on in the Forbidden Magic Research Lab, even among the Batali.
Indeed.
I have no issue.
Lots to do. Precious little time.
No sense travelling when I'm happiest here. Time is a slippery beast that must needs be tamed.
Wish 'twere always night. Learn me how to sleep.
The flow of time feels almost unsteady.
Indeed. Aught we once held to be true is now changed.
Is there no way to return things to how they were before?
I would have preferred not to have to fight so soon, but at least I know I am up to the challenge.
Try not to get hit, lest all that vim go to waste.
I'm saved. Thank you, Arisen.
No sense letting the enemy gain the upper hand. The early griffin gets the worm, as they say.
Aught felt from the beast that it breathed its last.
These fiends will resurrect, so long as their skulls remain intact. But fear not, I shall gladly smash every last one.
Dare I say it? We trounced our foe, well and true.
No doubt, this triumph will spur us into the next. Am I the first to notice we've all got different vocations?
Our respective abilities are unique as well.
But each of us own our skills. A jack of all trades is a master of none. I must admit that it feels wonderful to strike through.
Ensure your next attack is no less purposeful. That was incredible. Never have I encountered such a strategy.
Well, well. Color me surprised. I'll be needing a full mug of ale.